You too. We back with another podcast. I don't know if I want to call it an episode or a podcast, but look, you see, it's just the guys here again today, and we gotta talk about highway robbery. So the NFL honors happened last night. I didn't have much problem with a majority of the awards. I think the Browns obviously have some dirt on Goodell. They got something to Goodell. They got pictures of Goodell on the island cheating on his wife or something. I don't know. I don't know what they got over there. But Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year. I'm gonna say this right now. TJ Watt should have a minimum of 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards, arguably 4. I don't know how a edge defender wins Defensive Player of the Year without even being top 5 in sacks. Yeah, he was top 5 in TFLs, but not even top 5 in sacks, not even top 5 in tackles for edge, total tackles, DPOY. Man, Browns got something on you there.
I, I don't know. I'm not gonna talk about that one because, by the way, Xander is not a Steelers fan. Those of you saying, "Oh, cry Steelers, cry Steelers, cry," because you already know it's gonna happen. That's all that Browns fans have been able to say. But I just want to say that I'm not really necessarily that mad about that one. I'm more so mad about the D'Amico Ryans uh, snub. I understand Stefanski. I understand what Stefanski did. It's incredible for a coach to go out there and keep guys and keep teams winning games when there's guys that aren't playing or whatever. But like, why are we trying to award that now when like coaches have been doing that for years? Like literally. I mean, maybe not to that level, but D'Amico Ryan took the 3-13 Texans and took them to the playoffs first year and smacked the DPOY who was a nobody that game, by the way.
Absolutely nobody.
The DPOY was nobody that game, by the way. The coach of the year got smacked, got outcoached the entire game. Being top the whole time.
Couldn't even. Did the DPOY even play in the second half of the season? Because I didn't see him. I didn't see him.
Myles Garrett had one more sack than me in the last 7 weeks of the season. So
that's DPOY. Myles Garrett, I'm sitting at home on my couch. You have one more sack than me in the last 7 weeks of the season. Think about that. But no, I have to go back. I want to. Myles Garrett is 5 sacks behind the leader. Okay? 5 sacks behind the leader, which is TJ Watt with 19 sacks. And he has 5 less sacks.
It's all right though. And we talked a lot about how we didn't want DeMar Hamlin to win, comeback player of the year or whatever. But like it really was his award. Like it was just kind of annoying because we already knew that it was going to be, well, we thought it was going to be DeMar from the beginning of the season, even though he wasn't playing a lot. But when somebody dies on the football field, it's kind of hard to not give them that award. So, that's a comeback. That's literally a comeback to life. The definition, like the extreme of a comeback, and he did it. And like, yeah, after that first snap, I think that he definitely should have got it. But like, what did Joe Burrow necessarily come back from other than being old? I mean, you can come back from old age.
Joe Flacco.
Who'd I say?
Joe Burrow.
Oh, Joe Flacco. What did Joe Flacco come back from other than being old? You know,
other than being 8 years old and being terrible. Like, no, even what's it called? I'm not even gonna say like it should have just been DeMar Hamlin's award, even though we know that it should have. Let me get this computer fixed up real quick.
If he played a full season, it would have been a different story. Like Joe Flacco played the entire season. He played good he played good the whole time. But like Joe Flacco was getting a lot of yards, some touchdowns, and a lot of picks. Like he didn't play phenomenal, but like he just played better than Deshaun. So like to them it was amazing.
What I don't get is the fact that How does Baker Mayfield not win comeback player of the year? But Joe Flacco's able to win comeback player of the year. If we're not giving it to DeMar Hamlin, why is Joe Flacco getting comeback player of the year before Baker Mayfield? Baker Mayfield this year has a career resurgence year, wins his division, takes the Bucs to the playoff, gets a playoff win, by the way, and then no comeback player of the year. Mind you, this dude was former number over pick. Cleveland throws him to the Wolves. He bounces around. He goes to the Panthers, no burn there. He goes to the Rams, has an insane game, showed up on Saturday, game-winning drive on Sunday, and then you never really hear about him until this year. Because what was the clip? The Panthers had Baker Mayfield in practice lining up as a DN.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And this year he comes and starts 17 games, has the best stats of his career, and no comeback player of the year. Like I said, the Browns got some information about Goodell. They have to.
They got to. And people are gonna say we're just hating on the Browns or whatever. But halfway throughout the season, I was literally saying, okay, yeah, you can give defensive player of the year to Myles. He's playing about the same level as TJ, whatever. TJ's not playing phenomenal towards the middle of the season, but he picked up the pace like he usually does at the end of the season, and Myles Garrett fell off the face of the planet.
And I want to put it in the reference TJ Watt is the best player on his team, 100%.
1-11 without TJ Watt.
He's the only player. He's literally the driving force of that team. You know how uncommon it is for a DN or just a defensive player in general. Sorry, we'll call him an edge because he goes on the cover sometimes, that type of stuff. But you know how uncommon it is for a defensive player to be the most impactful player on your team, especially in today's NFL with all the rules that protect the offense. And TJ Watt won the Steelers at least 3 to 4 football games this year out of the 10 games that they won. That's at least half their wins. But he doesn't get DPOY. And I want to do head to head. TJ Watt, 19.5 sacks, 1 interception, 68 combined tackles, 19 TFLs. Myles Garrett, 14 sacks, 42 combined tackles, 17 TFLs. The only things that are even close to each other is TFLs. And TJ still has more.
We didn't even talk about QB pressures, QB hits, which TJ has more of those too. But his double team win percentage, Xander. Let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to everybody who keeps mentioning this stat. It's hard to send a double team to TJ Watt because you don't know if TJ Watt is going to drop into coverage or if he's blitzing. All the quarterback can do is sense.
He lines up so far outside too.
Yeah, so you have to sit there and you have to literally guess every time that you think TJ Watt is about to either drop into coverage or rush you, and then you have to try to send a double team. So the only times that you can really send a double team on TJ is if it's significant downs, like 3rd and 4th down, where you know that he's going to be rushing you. So, I mean, you can use that stat, sure, but don't say that TJ doesn't get double teamed or that he doesn't get held and stuff like that, because those
just roll the tape. Roll the tape.
At the end of the day, those aren't even. That doesn't matter. It's the production of the player. So whatever. And there's only so much we can do. But other than that, though, CJ Stroud.
And I mean, he had looking at TJ sacks, his stats real quick. All his sacks came against good to great offensive lines. He had 2 sacks against the Colts, one of the better units. 2 sacks against the Ravens on 2 occasions. He did it twice. Another one of the better units. We won't count Bengals.
Lamar Jackson is one thing.
And then he had 3 sacks on Brock Purdy in week 1. 49ers O-line.
Mind you, they didn't even have to they didn't even have to pass the ball a lot because they were up the entire game. So they were already running the ball a whole lot.
Hey, man. PFF grade wins Defensive Player of the Year now. I don't have to tell people.
and then like we can talk about the PFF grades too, because what makes them give him a better PFF grade in the first place?
I'm not gonna lie. PFF, like
No,
PFF,
PFF is located in Cincinnati, so that's why they don't like the Steelers.
no, like PFF just makes up like so much stuff. Like PFF will be like most sacks with black socks on while the temperature was 32 degrees. Like I don't know. PFF, like I'm not gonna say PFF don't know ball, but PFF, I don't know what I want to call it. I won't say they don't know ball, but PFF overinflates football to the max. And then you have geeks that sit there and study PFF all day, and then they come on social media. It's really dudes that, not gonna lie, it's dudes that have podcasts and like sports analyst channels, to be honest, if I'm being like they sit there, they study PFF all day, they watch a clip of just a basic rush where Myles Garrett gets double teamed, and then he'll get like pancaked or something, and then they'll be like, but PFF said right here, like, no, PFF is for losers. I can't even lie.
Yeah, well, I don't think we've ever quoted PFF grade on this channel.
The only time I quote PFF grade more for college athletes than I do NFL athletes, to be honest.
Yeah, because not everybody, you're not watching as many college football games. Like there's so many games to watch and so many players to keep track of. Like then yeah, I might peek at a PFF grade every once in a while. But if you're looking at a PFF grade for NFL players, it's kind of ridiculous.
And especially just that type of stuff. Like PFF grade isn't necessarily the worst thing, like their overall grade, but it's the PFF stats that we were just naming, like pass rush win percentage, that type of stuff, like or like double team win percentage or anything like that. Like okay, and it just gets to the point like what counts as a win. What do you count as a win? Do you count that as getting close to the quarterback? Do you count that as getting off the block? Do you count that as what's it called? As not getting pancake? Like it's just
Because to me, a win is a QB pressure.
a
Like you
win is
did something.
it's a pressure or a sack.
Yeah. So I don't understand where these all of a sudden these wins are coming from. Because if you really think about it, TJ had more sacks, more tackles for losses, more pressures, more everything.
Over
And he
20,
dropped
26 more tackles. That's not even close.
right, and he dropped back into coverage a lot more than Myles, which means that on less
Yeah,
attempts, he had
Myles Garrett ain't ever dropping back into coverage. Ever.
right.
Like ever.
Which means on less attempts, he was able to get more production on less attempts because he played less games and he had to drop back in coverage for a lot more of his snaps. So that I don't know what that gives him a higher percentage for win, but you know it's whatever. PFF logic, you don't question it. You just listen to it and you listen to what they tell
And
you.
it's like when you literally have retired NFL players. Okay, I don't want to say JJ Watt because I mean he is TJ's brother, so there's a little bit of bias there and that type of stuff. But he didn't specifically say it about anything TJ related. But I did see him on Twitter like a few weeks ago saying like PFF is extremely stupid. And I've seen a lot of retired NFL players say that type of stuff.
Yeah, because where are they getting their numbers from?
And it's just like not to leak any like crazy info. PFF, don't sue me, but like Braylon literally works for PFF. Like one of our podcast members literally works for PFF. Granted, he's not a higher up, but the fact that a college student would know Braylon's he's like a sports medicine major or something like that, and he's working at PFF. Isn't like a crazy football watcher, isn't like a crazy ball knowledge, where like, and he got a job at PFF.
What he gets paid to do, for those who don't know, is he has to sit there and he watches college football games. Like I think he was watching like Kentucky.
He was watching random games during the season, that type of stuff. Like, so it's like who does PFF really have working for that? You have no idea. PFF's head honcho could be your neighbor.
Yeah, so he would sit there though and he would keep track of like one player he'd mark like every time they're on the field or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like a bunch of like PFF is just a bunch of dudes. Like it's just a bunch of dudes. Like these aren't like heavily trained professionals. Is the point I'm making. But PFF, don't sue me, man. Don't sue me. If you see this video, man, don't send me a cease and desist or anything like that. PFF, I think you're a great website. I think you guys offer great information in the end.
But yeah, on to the next. We got some other awards that we can go over though. Obviously, Lamar won his MVP award. He was one vote away from being the first,
Person to win
second
2
unanimous all time. Yeah, second unanimous MVP. So that was almost super cool for him. But somebody had to throw that vote to Josh Allen instead of Christian McCaffrey. So whoever did that, you're lame.
And I know there's a lot of people. One of the main things that I've been seeing with the whole MVP conversation the past couple of days is a lot of people are saying, Lamar Jackson's the most undeserving NFL MVP in like the past decade or past 2 decades or whatever. Josh Allen had all these touchdowns, turnovers don't matter that much and all this stuff. And there's Lamar's stats, he wasn't even top 5 in yards or passing touchdowns, that type of stuff. But it's like, you got to realize this is an impact award. Impact is not always going to show up on the stat sheet, especially when you play the type of football Lamar plays and the type of football the Ravens play. Like, once you get inside the 5-yard line, the Ravens are not going to throw a pass. They're not going to throw a pass. This isn't the Chiefs. This isn't the Bills. This isn't any of those teams. This isn't the Cowboys. Once you get inside the 5-yard line, the Ravens are running the ball. And first of all, when it comes to total yards, yes, Josh Allen. Josh Allen had about 330 more total yards than Lamar. He played extra. He played 2 extra games than Lamar did, and then on top of that, Lamar only has 13 turnovers to Josh Allen's 22 turnovers. All right, 29 total TDs to 44 total TDs. I see it there, but the Baltimore Ravens, their running back scored 20 touchdowns this year. 15 of them came inside the 5-yard line. 15 of them.
Yeah. So
15 of them. So I'm not doing total touchdowns, all that stuff. Also, number 1 team in the AFC. You beat the most teams that were 500 and above. Lamar Jackson's the MVP. End of story. Too bad he couldn't get the ball, but we gonna be back. We gonna be back. That's all I gotta say.
So yeah, Lamar got the MVP,
Uh,
offensive rookie of the year. Went to Christian McCaffrey, but
Before we
you could
move on, though,
argue.
I wanna draw up some commotion real quick. Now that Lamar Jackson has 2 MVPs, he's one of 11 people all time to win the award multiple times. Is Lamar Jackson an all-time great already?
No, because if you look at those other quarterbacks that have won all those awards twice, the 2 MVP awards, every single one of them have a Super Bowl win. So until Lamar Jackson gets that Super Bowl win, he cannot cement himself as the greatest of all time, especially with the roster that he
Not
has.
the greatest of all time. I'm talking about
Sorry.
all-time great.
A great of all time. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I think he's there though. I'm not saying he's far away.
He's not even the
He has
greatest.
to win, though.
He's not even the best dual threat quarterback of all time.
No. I'll say that.
Okay.
I'll say that. But I mean like quarterback. Like I'm saying all quarterbacks.
All-time great though. So if Lamar Jackson wins a Super Bowl, say he wins a Super Bowl this year, where does Lamar Jackson rank after that? Then is he top 10? Is he top 15?
No,
He not even top 15.
they don't even consider Ben Roethlisberger top 15, and he has
No,
2
that's
bowls.
not true. That's not true.
We can start the poll up on the Keeping the Act
all right, we can start the
today.
poll up. We can start the poll.
You know how many people are going to say no?
It'll be on the bottom of it. It'll be on the bottom of this reel. I'm not even sure. But I don't know, man. It gets hard. 2 MVPs, Super Bowl. You got a Super Bowl MVP on there. You're the all-time leading rusher as a quarterback in the NFL. Win percentage looks pretty nasty. I'm not gonna say he's 100% gonna be an all-time great after that. But I think a lot of people are gonna come out with their cases, and they're gonna be very strong.
He has to play. He has to have a little bit of longevity to his career because that's one of the things that.
No, I 100% agree with that. I feel like to be considered an all-time great, I feel like you have to have at least 10 seasons of good football.
Yeah. So
great
once
football.
we
Sorry,
see
good.
a few more, he'll be.
Yeah. So the Lamar's on the fast track to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I mean, he's already. In my opinion, he's already going to be there because, like you said, he's already one. He's like the best dual threat quarterback to ever.
Yeah,
play.
it's hard to keep him out of the Hall of Fame, to be honest.
Yeah.
If he's not first ballot, he'll 100% make it no matter what. Especially now that he has a second MVP.
So He'll be there. It's just a matter of in what category. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the most important thing that we have to see from Lamar Jackson in the next few years is to see him as he gets older switch his game from being that run style quarterback to like potentially just being. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it because it's not. It's hard to be Lamar Jackson without being elusive, but they'll rely a lot more on his arm
I
than
feel like
he's elusive.
he's greatly progressed as a thrower of the football
Oh
every
yeah.
single year, and I feel
But I'm
like
saying, but you say the throw of the football, but he's running out the pocket and throwing the football. I'm saying he has to be able to like. He's not going to be able to run as fast as he always. I mean, obviously quarterbacks,
he's already dropped off in speed though.
right? But we'll see. You never know.
I think Lamar is only going to continue to adjust, adapt, and get better. To be honest,
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. Keep it competitive.
let's keep it competitive. Let's keep
We
it
love to
competitive.
see that. We love to see
You're
it.
not getting Justin Fields.
Come on. Anyways, we're not going to talk about that right now. That's next week.
No, it's
Once the
next week.
Super Bowl is over, we can talk about that. But
And I can't wait to cover NFL free agency. To be honest,
when
all
I
this
can't like free agency is like it
I,
doesn't start for so long though.
that's what I'm saying. But I feel like, to be honest, I feel like the NFL offseason is 100% the most entertaining when it comes to sports. Tell me if I'm wrong, people at home, but I really do. I mean, you got the draft, you got free agency, and there's tons of offseason moves when it comes to trades lines up. And like, man, I'm just saying, NFL offseason is always the most exciting in my opinion. I feel
It's
like
because you
NBA
always
might be a rivalry, but
you said what?
NBA might be a rivalry, but no, I just don't feel like it's a
No,
true
because
comparison.
like when things are about that. Like how do I say this? You know that like the draft is happening. Like people are actually tuning into the draft. Like nobody's watching the NBA draft. They're kind of just like waiting to see the
Yeah,
results of the NBA draft. And
NBA, and
then
because the NBA draft's so short.
yeah. And then like on top of it, people know when the season's about to start up, like, oh my gosh, Sunday football. Like, bro, I never know when the basketball season's about to start up. Like
And I feel like NFL fans talk so much during the season too. Like
mhm.
about what's going to happen in the off season. So it brings the suspense continues to grow and grow as the off season comes closer and as the off season begins. Because like the stuff because literally NFL fans, like if you're really on like NFL like social media, like NFL fans like think of literally every single scenario when it comes to players. And there's just so many more players in the NFL than what's it called, basketball. Like there's just so many more. There's so many dudes that are like could be diamond in the rough, dudes that aren't in the best situations and can make an impact on other teams once they get there. And like there's just so much more to think about and imagine when it comes to NFL players and new scenarios.
Yeah. But back to the NFL honors. Obviously, we got Christian McCaffrey winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. What?
Offensive player of the year.
Offensive Player of the Year. I'm tripping. Uh, he deserved it. Could have said he deserved some MVP votes, but
I think he
that's neither
deserved
here
it
nor
over.
there.
Yeah, he deserved it over Josh Allen. But I mean,
Yeah.
offensive player of the year, that's fine.
In a
Oh,
world where MVP was in a quarterback award, he won MVP this year. So that's fine. But then off defensive player of the year, obviously Myles Garrett. Offensive rookie of the year, CJ Stroud. There's some little controversy there. People thinking that Puka should have won it, but a quarterback's always going to win an award over
I
a
think
receiver.
80% of NFL fans agree on the fact that CJ Stroud was offensive rookie of the year.
I think that's what you think. I saw a lot of people upset about Puka not winning it.
I ain't see nobody.
Really?
I ain't see a single person.
I don't know. I guess we must be looking at. I was looking in the comment section and everything. People were salty that Puka didn't get. I mean, he dropped some numbers this year when you really look at him. But like
It's
I
just so
said,
much harder to play
3 and
quarterback
13.
than it is to play wide
Yeah,
receiver.
3 and 13 Texans quarterback touches the ball every play, so he has to get the ball to the receivers anyway. So it's hard not to give it to the quarterback.
Yeah.
And then defensive rookie of the year, Texans swept, and Will Anderson got it. How you feel about that?
I don't have any problem with it. I feel like defensive rookie of the year, it was kind of like, I don't know, nobody played like like super dominant. I'll say they all had their flashes. You know, Jalen Carter had his flashes. Will Anderson had his flashes. Devin Witherspoon. I kind of like Jordan Battle. That was a little underrated in my opinion. He never would have been in the final running, but he was one of the defensive rookies I liked. But I mean, it wasn't. I don't feel like this one. There's not going to be that much controversy over it, just because of just like how kind of like even the play was and streaky the play was as far as it was as far as it went with defensive rookies. But yeah, I mean, Will Anderson deserved it. 9 sacks as a rookie. Had a bunch of TFLs. Motor didn't stop. Missed some games, and yeah, I mean, he deserved it. In the day.
And then comeback player, we went over that. Coach of the year, we went over that. Is there anything we're missing?
No, that's it.
They gave my boy Najee angriest run of the year when he dribbled. What's his name? No. Tariq Woolen. I think that was hilarious because dude was out there. You know, have you ever seen the angry runs? You've had to, because Gus has got some, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. He was out there. I don't know why that guy is always out of breath. I can't remember his name right now, but he is always out of breath whenever he's doing the angriest runs. He was out there with the golden scepter, and Najee's just standing there like, I have you crying. Oh, and then Cam Hayward got Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Shout out to Cam Hayward. He's been in the running for that for like 13 seasons, bro. Glad he finally got it though. Captain Cam saved the day. But yeah.
And you know, the Super Bowl is 2 days away. It's currently Friday, but this video is going to go up on Saturday. But Super Bowl is 2 days away. Final predictions. Who's winning this game? I got the 49ers, and like, there's no doubt in my mind. There's a little bit of doubt because, I mean, when you're playing the Chiefs, you play the Chiefs and the rest. But I fully believe in the 49ers. And Brock Purdy can't turn to Mr. Irrelevant, but I don't think he will. To be honest, I think Brock Purdy gonna come in here. I think he's gonna ball out, and I don't think like I don't feel like Shanahan's gonna put him in like any complicated situations. Like I feel like it's like when you have Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, like I feel like you can make it very easy on your quarterback, and that's not even up for debate. Like Mailman could throw to those dudes. Not to take anything away from Brock Purdy, dude's definitely nice. Dude, you know, he's a heck of a game manager, as people would say. But no, I really don't. I think, and he's lost too many Super Bowls now. And I feel like he's finally going to get his.
I don't know. I kind of just want the Chiefs to win so that Patrick Mahomes can get his ring.
You just got to stop saying that.
I just don't want Tom Brady to be the GOAT anymore. I'm tired of it.
I don't think you realize how much Mahomes has to do to really be the GOAT.
Exactly. That's why we're going to start the campaign now.
7 Super Bowls.
No, he doesn't have to get 7 Super Bowls. If Patrick
he has to get minimum 4.
Exactly. He's almost there. If he gets this one, he's one step away. You see what I'm saying?
He has to get minimum 4, and then he has to pass Tom Brady in at least all-time passing or all-time passing touchdowns. If he's not going to get to the 7 Super Bowls.
Tom Brady played for like 40 years.
Yeah.
Who's about to do that?
I mean, why is it so hard to say Bron's not to go? Because Bron has every record. He might not have the championships, but he has every record. Pat Mahomes, if he doesn't have the championships, he's going to have to get every record.
I guess. I suppose I see what you're saying. No. It's not impossible. They just need to get him some receivers out there, bro. I'm tired of watching
that. Oh, my gosh. Patrick Mahomes doesn't have receivers 1 year, and they got to get Mahomes some receivers. Lamar Jackson been playing his whole career with no receivers outside of this year. Cam Newton, my grandma was out there catching passes for Cam Newton. Like,
he had DJ Moore out there.
That was when Cam was finished. That was when Cam's body was finished.
I guess.
Go watch that year. Cam would have had 50 passing touchdowns if it wasn't for his receivers, his MVP year. That was when Cam was finished. That was when Cam's body was finished.
I guess.
Go watch that year. Cam would have had 50 passing touchdowns if it wasn't for his receivers, his MVP year.
But it's a different brand of ball though. Like Lamar Jackson is a great rusher. It's like literally in Patrick Mahomes' brand to just throw the ball down the field and somebody's gonna have to catch it. But it doesn't even have to be like that. He has to have an amazing
I'm
superstar
just
wide
saying,
receiver. He just has to not have
there's been
losers.
so many quarterbacks that have
Oh
had
no, I
bad
know.
receivers.
I'm just saying that's something that they have to prioritize for that team.
Patrick Mahomes has had amazing receivers. Okay, maybe not last year. Maybe they weren't amazing last year, but they were still above average. Patrick Mahomes has had good to amazing receivers every single year of his NFL career outside of this
You
year.
call last year's receivers above average? I would call them maybe average.
They're not above average.
What did he have? Juju Smith-Schuster?
Juju had 900 yards last year.
He didn't even crack 1,000.
Travis Kelsey had 1,000.
Okay. Did Sam Laporta 1,000 yards this year?
No, Sam Laporta did not have 1,000 yards this year.
Are you sure?
He had like 15 touchdowns, but he didn't have 1,000 yards.
I was gonna say, well, Sam Laporta and Amon-Ra both had 1,000. What does that mean? And they had the best pass or best run game in the NFL.
Sam
So,
Laporta had 889 yards and 10 touchdowns.
well,
But dude,
and they had the best run game. And you see what I'm saying? No,
dude, Patrick Mahomes. Why are they not going to ever have one of the best run games in the NFL? Because Patrick Mahomes is tossing it 50 times a game.
right? But I'm saying they need to prioritize that. Then
They have. This is just one. This is an anomaly. This is one time.
this is the second year in a row where he's had
No,
randoms catching the ball.
no. Last year,
Juju Smith-Schuster left it. He left the Steelers being a wide receiver 2 to Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool. Damn near, he was
we're
basically a wide receiver 3.
we're talking about how the dudes played last year. Last year, Travis Kelsey 1,000 yards, Juju 900 yards, Valdez-Scantling had 700 yards. Like that's solid production from a receiving core.
Valdez-Scantling was a wide receiver 2. Juju Smith-Schuster was a wide receiver 2. That's what I'm saying. They signed a bunch of wide receiver 2s, and just threw them out there.
Why'd they have to sign them dudes? You can't go sign Devontae Adams for 30 million when Patrick Mahomes is making 100 million a season.
Somehow Amari Cooper and Deshaun Watson are working out. So I don't know.
Dude, the Browns are what's it called? The Browns are running out, and they already had no cap, and they're gonna have no cap again next season. So what are we really talking about?
They're gonna have no cap for the next 5. You know what? Listen here, Browns fans. I had an argument today with a Browns fan who literally told me you need to just accept fate and accept that the Steelers are never going to the Super Bowl in your lifetime. What? This is not the Browns franchise, all right? Cut that out.
When would you
Understand what
guys
this means?
when would you guys make the bowl though? Like give me earliest year you think you guys will make the Super Bowl title.
I don't know. I can't predict that, but I'm just saying we've been in my lifetime already. You can't say that. I saw them playing the Packers. I was a wee little jit, but like I saw it.
So we legit no, but I wanna all right. Super Bowl prediction for the Steelers. It's
I would
2024.
say they would have to make it. I would say the earliest, and this is literally if everything fell perfectly for them, it would have to be like 2 years, but they would have to be aggressive in free agency and stuff like that. But if they don't make it in that time or like get close, then it's not going to be for like another 5 to 7.
I say the earliest you guys make the Super Bowl is 2030.
Like say we go out in free agency this year and we get a competitive quarterback, like somebody who can actually do something. We got a coordinator, we got a new passing game coordinator. Steelers have never had a passing game coordinator, by the way. We're doing stuff that's showing like, okay, we actually want to win games. We haven't done that in 5 years. So it
What
gives me
pick do
hope.
you guys have in the draft?
20. Nothing crazy.
20?
I think we're gonna get the Oregon center.
Yeah,
I forget his name, Powers.
if you guys are trying to get a quarterback, then yeah, that's not going to be able to get you something. So you'd have to trade that pick for somebody.
No, I'm talking about free agency. I don't want an unproven quarterback. I want somebody who I've seen play football before.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to have to trade that. You're going to have to trade that first round pick, unless you're getting Russell Wilson or like Kirk Cousins. But Kirk Cousins is just not a Steelers quarterback.
He's exactly a Steelers
No,
quarterback.
stop
What are
it.
you
Stop
talking
that.
about?
Stop that right now. Stop that right now. Stop that right now.
What are you
Stop.
talking about? You're saying so name you name Russell
Kirk
Wilson.
Cousins.
Russell Wilson.
Kirk Cousins is one of the nicest guys on the planet. He is not a Steelers quarterback.
Kenny Pickett? All right. Kenny Pickett is not the best football player, but Kenny Pickett is a nice guy. Come on.
I wouldn't trust Kenny Pickett with my drink. I wouldn't trust Kenny Pickett with my drink.
Come on, bro.
I definitely wouldn't trust Big Ben with my drink. like, are you serious?
No, come on.
Mason Rudolph?
Oh yeah, no, I'm not going anywhere near
Come on,
Mason
bro.
Rudolph.
Come on, bro. Kirk Cousins is not a Steelers quarterback.
Bro, come on. When he had the chains on, you telling me you couldn't imagine Kirk Cousins with the chains on with George Pickett's dancing next to him? The vision is there. Look, we got the platform. Or what's it called? What they be saying? Bro, I don't know. What they be
You got the plan. You just need the platform.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Kirk Cousins, Steelers 2024.
No. Kirk Cousins needs to be a Raider or something.
Ugh. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Going to the Raiders right now.
Bro, it's just the Raiders, bro. It's just bad luck.
Everybody
who ends up going to the Raiders after
best fits for Kirk Cousins right now. Obviously you have the Raiders, but I don't know if they have the cap for him with all the dudes that are making money over there. I don't know. I think Max Crosby signed his extension. Josh Jacobs is going to have to get a deal this year. Davante Adams is already making $35 million, and then you'll see what they have. But outside of the Raiders, Washington football team, but he's already been there. Don't think that Dan Quinn's going to try to go get him. And I also feel like Washington, they also have the number 2 pick in the draft, and they might be moving out to get Caleb Williams anyway. They probably will. They probably will. Scratch that. They probably will move up to get Caleb Williams.
Why do you think that?
Why do I think that? Because I don't want to just say the generic because Cliff Kingsbury just got hired and that type of stuff. But it just feels like that's what they're going for at this point. Because
they can't.
Sam Howell he's not a bad quarterback, but Sam Howell is not the answer for the Washington football team. Washington Commanders, I'm sorry. He's not the answer for them. 21-21. Now, granted, it was his first year in starting, but I just never saw it when watching him play. When you cut on, granted, Caleb Williams has not played a game in the NFL yet, but if you cut on the tape, you see it right away. And it's like when you have the chance to get, and it's also like when you have the chance to get a guy that you view as generational, you're going to do everything you can. And obviously, they view him as generational. Every team that's looking for a quarterback is going to view Caleb Williams as generational. You saw what the Chiefs gave up to go and get Patrick Mahomes, even when they didn't necessarily need him at that time. What was it, 4 first-round picks? Like, when you see that guy that you think you don't know because you can't know at that point, that you think can really be the savior for your franchise and be like a once-in-a-lifetime type of player, you do whatever you can to go get him. On top of the fact that, yes, they did just hire Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury, he's known for working with quarterbacks very well, and he did just coach Caleb Williams at USC. So, it's a bonus.
I mean, I guess, but I don't see... They're going to have to give up so much in order to do that.
Like I said, I mean, if Caleb Williams ends up winning a few Super Bowls and getting a few MVPs, then they didn't really give up much in a lot of people's opinions.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not like they're just a quarterback away from having a great team. They literally gave up everything last season. Like, they literally were just handing players away.
That's true. They do have a lot of guys that they do need to patch up that defense, patch up the O-line. But quarterback will definitely
their best bet. I think their best bet with the cap space that they saved up is getting somebody in free agency. Or waiting till the second pick to pick somebody.
Nobody really wants to sign with them, though. You got to think about the history of the team. Didn't the Commanders just get sold, though? Didn't somebody just buy them? Wasn't Magic Johnson a part of that? What team just got bought? I'm pretty sure it wasn't the Commanders. Commanders owner. I was going to say ownership because nobody liked the ownership of the Commanders back when they were the Redskins and the football team. Like I don't remember dude's name. But yeah, Magic Johnson he's a partial owner, and Josh Harris is the main owner. Like ownership's different now, so I guess you can't really point to ownership, but it's just and their field also isn't the greatest. Just their facilities in general. But I feel like it's hard to get. I feel like it's just hard to attract people to Washington, and especially you're in the NFC East. Like the Cowboys, people are always gonna love the Cowboys over you. People are gonna love the Eagles over you, and you got to think like you're not even the best team in the DMV. The Ravens are the best team in the DMV, so it's
What do you
hard to
know?
convince guys to get out there.
What do you know about the DMV? You're from Akron.
What do you know about the DMV?
I know nothing about the DMV.
I know plenty about the DMV.
I had to take a second to realize what you were talking about for a second there.
What is the DMV?
To me, that's a car place.
Unacceptable. Unacceptable, bro.
That's why I was like, what is he talking about?
It's DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
Okay.
The DMV. But yeah, just to wrap the episode up and actually talk about the Super Bowl and get the Super Bowl out of the way, I think the 49ers are going to win that game. I think final score is going to end up being about 38-27 or 38-30, something like that. I think Kyle Shanahan's going to run the ball. He's not going to do what John Harbaugh did. He's going to put the ball in his running back's hands. He's going to let the running backs go crazy. Brock Purdy's going to get into the hands of his playmakers. And I feel like the Chiefs' offense just doesn't have the guys to match up with the 49ers' defense, like in the slightest, to be honest. You got Travis Kelce, but it's like you got so many people that you can throw at Travis Kelce to guard. You got Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw. I don't know. He's kind of more of a thumper than a coverage guy. You got the chin, bro. What's his name, bro? Chardarius Ward. I can't remember his name. If you've seen a picture of him, you know I called him the chin. But no, I feel like they got the dudes to match up with Travis Kelce. They 100% have the pass rush. I mean, you got Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave, and Chase Young coming down at you. And then you can send Fred Warner or Dre Greenlaw on that blitz. Like, I think they just got the guys that are going to match up extremely well with the personnel that the Chiefs have on offense. And I don't think that they're going to really have any troubles, to be honest. Unless they're playing it, like, as I named earlier, they're playing against the Chiefs and the rest. Then, then it can get a little fuzzy there. But I think the 49ers handle them, and I think they get right. Put the ball in Christian McCaffrey's hands. Chiefs defense ranked 17th when it came to stopping the run. And they gonna come out of there with a Super Bowl. That's that.
No. Patrick Mahomes. Kyle Shanahan 0-3 against Andy Reid, soon to be 0-4.
Okay.
Then we take they unleash their secret weapon known as Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney has a career high game, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He doesn't believe
Travis Kelce about 90 yards a tutty. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is history from there.
You just erased all the reliability of our podcast with that Kadarius Toney 150 yards.
Come on, look. If Kadarius Toney has 120 yards, about 100 yards in a touchdown or 2, I need 5 from everybody on the podcast. I'm not gonna lie.
Kadarius Toney might get 1 catch, and it could end up going for -1 yards, -3 yards.
But that's what they expect, you know what I'm saying? Big Red back there applied. He like, I'm scheming Kadarius Toney every play.
He's not. Kadarius Toney might not even have pads on Sunday.
No, he will. They said that he will have pads on. He will be playing.
49 coming out with Debski. Brock Purdy getting the ball. Christian McCaffrey getting his bowl. Trent Williams getting his bowl. Kyle Shanahan finally getting his bowl.
I wouldn't mind seeing Christian McCaffrey win and Fred Warner. Those are I wouldn't hate if I saw Fred Warner, Christian McCaffrey, and Javon Hargrave get a trophy, but
you don't want Trent Williams to get a Super Bowl? Trent Williams almost died from brain cancer in Washington.
But he's like a jerk.
He just punches people sometimes. Really go and watch a Trent Williams interview. Dude's really a nice guy.
I guess he's just competitive, but whatever. I wouldn't mind seeing him win either.
He's in year 800 in the NFL as an offensive tackle, and he was about to die. Like they literally said, like, get your affairs together for dude. I was watching him on the podcast with Eric Armstead. Like, he said the doctor literally told him, get your affairs together. I don't know how long you have to
I
playing
didn't know
football
that.
again. Going to the Super Bowl. Trent Williams, I hope he get the Dubsky.
So wait, I didn't know all that. So how did he end up getting?
So, man, now we got to talk about lore, NFL lore. We're keeping an ag right now. So Trent Williams started off on the Washington Redskins. They were the Redskins at the time, and he was there for a few years. And he had a lump on the back of his head. And for the longest time, like the doctors told him, like, it's not anything serious. It's just a cyst. Like we can drain it, that type of stuff. Like it's nothing to really worry about. And I believe he said that he had the cyst on the back of his head for about 4 to 5 years. So that was just, and the cancer it was actually a cancerous tumor or a lump, whatever. I don't know the medical terms for that type of stuff, but basically the cancer continued to grow and grow and grow inside of his head for a very long time. So before we go back to that segment, I just want to fact check myself because we do like to maintain reliability here at Keeping the Ag. Trent Williams did not have a brain tumor. He had what is called dermatofibrosarcoma protuberans. I definitely did not say that right, but it's actually a form of skin cancer, and it was on the back of his head, and the cancer was creeping towards his brain, and that is where the threat to his health came from. But yeah, I just had to fact check myself real quick. Appreciate you guys viewing. I will see y'all next time. And yeah, back to the segment. 4 to 5 years, can't remember which one. And then it was finally that he got a second opinion about it, and that's when the doctors did the test, and they figured out that it was cancer. And they're thinking they can just get rid of it, that type of stuff. But it's like tests ended up going on. The doctors ended up telling him like, like we don't know how much time you have to live. Get your affairs together. You just try to enjoy life and all that type of stuff. But then he ended up getting another second opinion, and they kind of said like, yo, the tumor, whatever it is, it hasn't metastasized yet, so we got to get this surgery done, and we got to get it done immediately, and we think you have a chance at beating this. And basically that's what happened. After he got that test, he said that he got his surgery about 1 or 2 days later. They got it out. The surgery was a very long surgery. It required a bunch of different doctors. It was extremely basically they had to be very careful, and there wasn't a lot of room for error in this surgery. And yeah, Trent Williams ends up beating cancer, ends up getting traded to the 49ers. 49ers acquired him after he didn't play for a full year. And then he comes back, and I believe he's been a Pro Bowler and an All-Pro every year since then, in year 14 in the NFL, and still at the top of his game. So hopefully Trent Williams can get that Super Bowl.
Yeah, because I was watching a video of him the other day when the video that you posted when he punched, was it Richard Sherman in the face or something like that?
He clocked Richard Sherman.
But I'm like,
Richard Sherman said, punch me then. Richard Sherman gonna start laughing. He was like, I was like,
I did.
I was like, bro, I was like, that's one of them ones, bro, his face is hot. His face hot. His face hot.
Bro, so Richard Sherman's been crazy.
Bro, no, he had to laugh that off. He really wanted to go cry. I don't care how tough Richard Sherman is. Nobody laughs like that when they get punched in the face unless they're trying to laugh off tears. I'm sorry.
But no, I saw that video and I was like, dang, bro, this video is in like 144p, bro.
He clocked
in the league for a minute.
He clocked Richard Sherman. But I mean, that's this week's episode of Keep It in the Ag. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully, yeah, that's really it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Please continue to come back and watch our videos. Tell your friends and family about us. Click the links that are in our bio. All of our links from Instagram to TikTok will be there. Like our reels, share them with your friends, and just continue to spread the word about our channel. Comment, let us know what you like, what you didn't like. Let us know what you want to hear about. And yeah, that's been this week's episode. Appreciate everybody for coming out. Appreciate my guy Donovan for having another episode with me. And yeah, that's episode 17 of Keeping It Ag. See y'all next time.